on to Rage Quit. We're here to talk about stuff that the video game industry does from once in a while times and pisses us off or makes us really upset. The first and the latest slip up from EA, and that was the SimCity event that we probably already heard of everywhere on the internet. But basically, when their SimCity servers went down the day of launch for a while, it even got pulled off all of the shelves. They decided as an apology to give us a free game, and you can get Mass Effect 3 or Battlefield 3 or Dead Space 3, which I personally would have probably gone with Dead Space 3, but I already own it, so. Anywho, if you're watching this episode, I hate to say that it's already too late, but we wanted to bring it up because it's part of Rage Quit. Makes us pissed off when EA slips it, especially with the online pass, and I want to retouch on that, on what Josh and Matthew said. Makes me really upset because that means that we cannot buy the used games and play them on our own systems. We have to buy them new. We're already paying so much money, and it just seems like they're out for the money, and we have to stop it. We have to put a stand, and maybe that'll make them stop and not want to charge anymore if we don't buy the EA passes. You gotta stop, EA. You gotta stop. Anywho, we're also a little bit upset because for the PlayStation 3 owners, Skyrim DLC was delayed, of course, 6 months. I know. In the past, they have done it with Sony, with Resident Evil and stuff. They've made it so that certain consoles get exclusives, but enough already. Why don't you guys just release everything, all Universal at one point? Microsoft's just trying to cash in some money on the Skyrim and just making the Xbox 360 have the first to get that DLC. I don't think that's fair. Even though I do own a 360, it's about equality. It's about making sure to talk about amongst your friends. Could have a friend that has a PS3, you want to feel free to say, hey, you've played Dragonborn, you've played all the new DLCs for Skyrim. You can't do that because they're like, I don't have a 360, and I think that's really messed up. I can understand stuff like Gears of War being exclusive or God of War. Those are exclusive games, and I can understand that's fine. They decide to stick with one system, but if you plan to really release it to everybody, don't make the DLC or certain features exclusive. I mean, Street Fighter Cross Tekken tried doing it where only the PlayStation can play 2-on-2 matches. I mean, I think that was bogus, and we all spoke how we felt, and they fixed it. They got a patch so that the Xbox can also play 2-on-2 matches. It's just not fair. So you gotta stop with the exclusives. Or some people might like them, but they should just stop them, and then everybody will be happy.
Everybody happy!
And that kind of brings me to the whole re-releasing. Re-releasing games kind of is part of the whole, let's milk the cow, milk the money cow, whatever you want to call it. You're just trying to re-release the same game over and over, and especially for hardcore fans. I'm speaking to you, Capcom, with your Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom and Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and of course the latest Street Fighter Cross Tekken bullcrap. We've already gone through it, and I know it's kind of old news, but I just wanted to retouch that this whole game industry trying to milk us gamers from our money, re-releasing stuff over and over. Just to give you an example, you bought Street Fighter 4 brand new, day of, $60. Then Super Street Fighter 4 comes out, more characters, more stages, more modes, $40 more. And then Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition comes out, $30. That's $130 that you spent, not even on DLC, skin packs, all that, your Xbox Live account, not counting all that. You're already over $130 for one game. And I know you're like, well, no, it's not one game, it's 3 games, but it's the same thing. Street Fighter 4, just with more stuff. And it also sucks when somebody comes in and just buys the game for $40 or $30 and gets everything, where you have been there since day one when you first game came out, $60, and you spent already $130, but then this guy comes in and just buys it for $30 and gets everything. That I think that's not fair. I don't think that's right. That also includes, for the Games of the Year edition. They pack everything in there and just sell it to you for $20, $30. And where if you bought it the day of and you downloaded all the DLC, it could cost you well over 80 to 100 bucks to get all the DLC. But then Game of the Year edition has everything in there, 30, 40 bucks, and it's yours. I don't know. I also don't think that's a little fair. If it's cool for those people that don't have that much money, and they're like, I missed it, I didn't have that much money to spend on it, it's cool for them. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna make a Game of the Year edition with everything packed in there, and you're still gonna try to milk it, why don't just make it 40 bucks with all the DLC included? Or give the DLC for free to the people who bought the original game. I don't know. It's just very rage quitting. In the end, if you love your game, you're gonna spend money on it. I'm just saying, let's just hope history doesn't repeat itself, and we have a video game crash in the 2010s, 2020s, because of all this bullcrap with EA passes, season passes, DLC exclusives, and re-releasing games like crazy. I think that is gonna flood the market, and history is going to repeat itself, and I hope Capcom and Nintendo and everybody learns from their mistakes and says, we gotta stop. Let's just let them enjoy their game. Let's give them a fair price and keep making awesome games. That was Rage Quit, and I'm Mario, and see you guys next time on the Rage Quit.